everyone, it's JAKUB here. I would like to record some YouTube videos about how I create music, how I create beats, mainly using Native Instruments MASCHINE MK3, machine expansions and other software from Native Instruments. The videos will concern like different aspects of music making. For instance, today I would like to show you how I get the initial idea for a beat, and the material is almost uncut, so you'll see my whole process from the very beginning. Then at the end you'll be able to listen to the beat with the changes I made behind the scenes. And I didn't know what language, like Polish or English, to use for these videos, so I decided to go with English for now, as it is more accessible for everyone. Maybe I'll make some videos in Polish one day as well. And by the way, this is not a tutorial by any means. I will describe how I make a beat using terminology, sometimes without explaining it. Perhaps in the future I'll make some tutorial about beat making. Right now I don't have any plans for that. Okay, so let's get into it. So I used the kit Full Circles from Crate Cuts. It's the expansion from Native Instruments. A kit is like a collection of sounds in general. And I like these two samples that I play here, so I decided to record them. I changed the tempo of the beat to fit in the samples. And I recorded these samples that I liked, and it created a pattern in Machine. I quantized the samples, the pattern to be on the grid, to fit in the tempo of the project. And then I decided to create a new pattern and a new scene in order for the beat to add a drum beat to the samples that I previously recorded. I quantized the beat as well. Then I decided to change the swing of the beat, of the instrumental. So I started playing with hi-hats from the skit that I loaded up, and I had to set the choke groups so they cut each other off because it sounded better. And I of course recorded the hi-hats on the new pattern I just created. Also quantize them. Then I decided to just play a little bit with the volume of the hi-hats and other sounds from the kit, because some of them were like too loud. And then I wanted to add something new, and I liked the bass that was in the kit. So I wanted to come up with a melody for the bass that would fit the samples that I recorded at the beginning. So I entered the keyboard mode, and I wanted to find a nice melody for the bass. was a nice melody, so I decided to record it on a new pattern. Now that I recorded the bass, I wanted to find new sounds, and I thought that some key sounds would be great. And I always use Native Instruments hybrid keys for this. There are a lot of great sounds there, like really, and they are very diverse, and you know, you don't have like only piano sounds there, but a lot of like great electronic piano sounds, and there are even pads, but they all have like a great atmosphere in general. I love hybrid keys. So I wanted to come up with some keys melody to make a beat more interesting in general. And I decided to record the melody. And by the way, as you can see, you see my whole process of beat making. So there were like 2 or 3. I tried 2 or 3 times to record the melody properly. It didn't go well, but for the 3rd time I recorded it properly. And then I also changed the one note that kinda didn't fit the sound of the beat. Sometimes I use the mouse to change some notes, some individual notes. Like, I love using Maschine, but sometimes the software is like more comfortable to use. And then I wanted to look for some other sounds in the kit that I loaded up at the beginning, and I found this nice tambourine sound, and I recorded it as well. The tambourine was too high, so I changed it, and also I make some panning changes. So I noticed that the hi-hats are were in the right speakers, so I put the tambourine on the left, a little bit on the left. So the mix for the mix to be more wide. For a second I didn't know what to do with the beat, so I had to think about what I'm doing. And so I decided to create a new scene, a kind of a chorus for the instrumental, for the song. And I started playing with the samples, and though in the kit there was a nice snap sample, so I decided to use it in the chorus. I thought it was a nice change of pace, and it added like a little bit of this pop sound into this instrumental. And I recorded the beat in the new scene. It would be like I thought it would be a nice change in the beat. And then there came like a very important moment for this beat, because I started to playing with the chord set proposed by Native Instruments in Machine, and I came up with a nice chord progression. But as you will see soon, it didn't fit the samples that I played at the beginning. But I liked the chords so much that I recorded them anyways. Initially I wanted to use them in the chorus only, but I liked them so much that I decided to change the beat completely, as you will see soon. By the way, I always like when the notes are on the grid and when they don't overlap. So I always use my mouse to kinda make them fit in the grid, and then they sound a little bit more artificial, but they sound like they flow better into each other. And then I also thought that it would be nice to add some bass notes to these chords, so I decided to play a little bit with that and add a little bit of more of this low ends into the key sound. And then I started to listen to the beat from the beginning, and as I said, I decided to change the beat completely and remove the samples that I recorded at the beginning, because these chords that I recorded were like sounded so nice that I wanted to base the whole beat on them. So I decided to change the whole beat. The drum beat stayed there. I just removed the samples from all the patterns that I recorded. And so I kind of replaced the samples from the kit with this hybrid keys sound. Also, I removed the melody of the keys that I recorded at the beginning. So what was left was the chords only, and no melody. But as you can see there, I tried to come up with a new melody of these keys to fit with the chords well. So I decided to record the melody on a new pattern, of course, to leave the chords separate from the melody part. So as you can see, the drum beat is there. the drum beat from the beginning of the video, but I only removed the samples from the kit, and also I had to remove the bass part that I recorded at the beginning because it stopped being going well with the new melody, with these chords. And also a cool feature from Maschine that you can add nice variations of the velocity, and I usually do this on keys, on piano. It feels more natural, like I would play the actual piano. So I added the variation to the pattern with these chords. Then again, I played with the volume of the sounds. I usually like to work on the mix while I'm making a beat. Maybe not like all the effects, EQ, etc. and compression, but I like to control the volume while I'm making the beat, because the beat making process is much more clear for me, and I hear how the beat sounds before I mix it properly. More or less, of course, because mix is a lot of work right after I make a beat. But just the volume and reverb, delay, it is important while you're making a beat to hear how it sounds. And then I added a new group now, and I loaded up a new sound. It was kind of an organ or a pet synth sound, and I thought that it would be a nice addition, and I added a lot of atmosphere for the beat, and I used the same chord set as for the keys. And now I wanted to create like some kind of an initial arrangement for the beat. Set up some scenes that would like later be a part of the arrangement. And of course I wanted to add some new sounds into the beat, as you will see later. And what I decided to do is to find a nice bass sound. There's a great bass plugin from Komplete 13 from Native Instruments as well. And because I had to remove the previous bass sound from the Crate Cuts kit, I had to find a new bass and the melody for the bass, and I started playing with the sound that I loaded up. And I came up very quickly with the melody of the bass, so I recorded it straight away. I like to work on the arrangement while making a beat as well. Maybe not some complex stuff, but at least like what will come after this melody or that melody, you know, just to make just to see how the beat goes and what to add next, etc. I think it's important while making a beat to have it like all initially set up. So another sound that I wanted to add was like to add a little bit of the atmosphere for the instrumental. So I decided to find some vocal sounds, like some voices, and I like the airy kind of samples because it adds a lot of cool vibe into the beat. So I found this nice vocal sample, vocal chop, and I had to load the guitar rig 5 because it wasn't in the key of the beat. So I needed to find in which key the sample is, and then I had to, in the sampler in the machine, I needed to kind of change the tune of the sample for it to match the key of the whole beat. I think that the beat is in the G minor, and the sample was B note. Wasn't B note, so I had to change the tune a little bit to fit the key of the whole beat, and I recorded this nice vocal sample into the pattern late. And now I wanted to save the beat on my hard drive because I forgot it to do it earlier. So I wanted to just save the beat to make sure that it's on my computer. Again, I worked a little bit on the arrangement, changed some scenes, changed some patterns. So that'll be it for the beat making process. You've just seen how I make a beat and in general how my process works. It was, as I said at the beginning, an uncut material, so you could see everything that I did. And now it's time for the work behind the scenes. So what did I do with the beat behind the scenes? First of all, I changed the kick sample because after a few listens, I thought that it just didn't have a appropriate punch. I added a second verse with the arpeggio synth. I came up with the melody and with the idea right after I record the video. I also added the last chorus with a new lead synth and a shaker loop, so these both elements added a new dynamic. I also mixed the beat. I did some EQ stuff, sidechain compression, etc., and then added some transitions and crash samples to make the beat more interesting, more dynamic. I also varied the drum beat in some parts, especially hearable in the pre-chorus part. So thank you very much for watching the video. Here is the final beat. I hope you will enjoy it, and please subscribe and like if you enjoy the video.